Good evening, St. Louis, and welcome in to the Blues Central Postgame. I am Matthew Rocchio. That is Jacob Stanoch, and we have to do this all over again for what seems like the umpteenth time this season for the St. Louis Blues. Because stop me if you've heard this one before, Jacob, and please stop me when I have to talk about this again. The Blues have a 2-1 lead early in the game. They give up that lead, and then they fall in overtime. They take a point, but they fall out on that second one, and we're talking about another Blues loss here on the Blues Central Postgame. Jacob, some opening thoughts on an unfortunate loss here for the Blues. I do want to mention to everybody we are, of course, brought here by our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook, where the crown is yours.
I mean, it's getting to a point. I've talked about this for the past few games now. It's getting to a point. I mean, I was having more fun watching high school hockey there than watching the end of this Blues game. I mean, I was lucky enough to call John Burroughs and MICDS, and now it's like, man, I really wish this Blues game wouldn't have taken away my DeSmet versus SLU high school game going on right now. Live from Afton right now. That's where I'm at. So
yeah, you just give us updates on that game. That might be more interesting.
Yeah, I believe it's
Blues overtime loss.
I know it for sure. DeSmet scored once. I don't know if anyone else has scored. I've been trying to keep as much attention through the windows as possible. But I tell you what, I could not. I wanted to do this from the stands where we were at, calling the game previous. There was no way that was going to happen. It was way too loud, too rowdy. I mean, there's really no such thing as too rowdy. But I mean, the crowd's fantastic. I love the high school atmosphere. But of course, now we have to talk about the Blues. As much as I wish I could talk about this game, I have to talk about the Blues. And, man, I am just the thing I talk about the most is, like, is there an impossibility for this team to score more than 2 goals these past few games? They just can't do it. It's getting so – I mean, the moment I saw that the Devils were 5-1 in overtime, I'm like, yeah, we're losing. That's just – it's a given, simply put. There was no way. There was no way. And what do you know? It's happened again. So it's tiring. It's getting to a point. Yeah, you can play so much good hockey that at least you're going to overtime. But man, you gotta know how to finish off these games.
As always, when we're here on STL Sports Central, please jump into the YouTube chat. We will put those chats up. If you guys have something you want to talk about from this game, we will break it down how you guys want to go with it. Eggplant Emoji joins us. Is there a directive from coaching or management that they are to stop scoring once they get 2 goals? Let's get into before we get into the ineptitude, or let's dive into it. We'll talk about the good things we saw in the first period, because in the long scheme of things, it doesn't matter when you drop a point. We can talk about some of the good things. Fowler had a great first period, but then you saw what happened.
Beautiful goal.
As the game would continue. Great goal by Robert Thomas as well. But let's get into what went wrong in that second and third period, because again, a 2-1 lead coming out of the first period. They give up the lead in the second. Nico Herscher with a very good goal of his own to tie things up at 2-2. But then just a complete ineptitude. To your point, you know, they get outshot, and that's a big change. Even when they were losing games early in the season, they were at least out chancing and out shooting teams. Now another game where they get outshot, and everything just evaporates in the third period. What do you think is the biggest issue right now late in these games?
Well, the problem is right now is just the offense in general. They're not getting any shots. They've been getting outshot in dang near every single game in this rough stretch here. I mean, they get outshot again. And the thing is, they're not just getting outshot. They're only putting up 23 shots. And that is concerning, looking that out. And the thing is, too, is that the only really good quality chance that I noticed while trying to watch the game a little bit was the one chance Joseph had in front of the net, and he didn't even get a shot on it. Like, these are not quality looks, and it seems like, again, it's just a broken record where it's just first few games here or the first period, they get up, they have a really good first, maybe get another one in the second, but then after that, they just kind of forget how to create offensive chances afterwards, and that's kind of been the problem right now.
I think in other sports, you know, where the coaching fingerprint is a little bit more apparent, we'd look at this breakdown of a team that gets out early leads and then falls apart. I think we'd look to coaching in a lot of the other sports. You know, are you getting figured out? Is your game plan a little bit simplistic? Is it something that the other team is just able to kind of take away your advantages while also accentuating your problems? Do we see something where the Blues just aren't able to adapt late in games?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like they are defensively. It just feels like there's not a lot of stepping up. The thing is, though, is that they're not losing hockey games like they're awful. Like they're just losing games, I think, in the sense that it's just the best way to put it. The way I've watched hockey for so long in my life, the way that I see this Blues team so far is that they're just kind of losing games in hockey ways. They're not, getting to the end. The problem is they're not getting the other side of the game.
What's a hockey way to lose? What's a hockey way to lose? What's a not actually better question? What's a non-hockey way to lose a hockey game?
Giving up 4 goals within the last 10 minutes of the third period. That's about it. They have not done that yet. So just in the sense of this is the regular ebbs and flows of how hockey game goes. They're not giving up a whole lot of goals. They're not giving up, 4 or 5 goals a game. They're only losing by 1. And how many 3-2 games have we had? I mean, it's just insane. So they're not losing drastically. This isn't like, if you were to look at the record just straight up without even watching it, you'd see like, oh, they're just unlucky. They're just unlucky. That's kind of how it's looking right now. And the problem is right now is they're just not creating anything. It's like, how many fantastic goals can you get from Robert Thomas snipping away on a beautiful shot, and then all of a sudden they just decide to shoot everything in the chest, second and third period on. So it's at a point right now where the same thing is happening, but I still don't know how you can fix it in the sense of, because they're playing solid hockey, but they're not scoring. I mean, that's kind of just the issue right now.
Yeah, to your point, actually, I hadn't really realized it. This is actually fascinating, Jacob. The Blues have in the last, in the month of November, the Blues have lost 2 games by more than 1 goal. That's the 4-1 loss to Vegas and the 6-1 loss to the Capitals. Every other loss they've had has been a 1-goal loss, including 4 of them in overtime or a shootout. So to your point, I mean, if you just look at these games right now, the goal differential in November right now is goals for, goals against. The goal differential in November is -8 with 3 games left to play. The goal differential to start the season in October was -16. So to your point, the games are a lot closer. They're not getting blown out the way they were early in the games. But I opened this up by saying this. The one thing that was happening in those first games where they were getting blown out that isn't happening anymore, to your point, they're getting outshot and outchanced. I mean, they were outchancing teams in those early 2 weeks where they were getting blown out and the defense was complete crap. They were at least outchancing teams. So do you think we've seen maybe a shift to more of a conservative, kind of play that doesn't expose the defense, but is maybe costing some of the chance creation on the other side?
I think probably a combo of both. I think the thing is, and this is what a lot of teams do, and being around the game so much, is that a lot of coaches, throughout the entire season, they want to improve on their own game, but simply put, they just want to play their own game. They don't want to make drastic changes. They don't want to adapt to everything game by game, because in football, they're going, oh, you need to protect this play and this play and this play.
And how much practice time do you have?
Yeah, and it's like they don't have that kind of, one, they don't have that time in hockey, and 2, what simply works for a hockey team is that if you play your own game consistently, you will win games. And the thing is, I think there was a slight shift, and when you can probably tell they're playing a little bit more defensive-minded. And in that sense, so where we've seen a lot of the defense stepping up in offensively, you're seeing that a little bit less. I think maybe that's part of it as well. You still see Falk stepping up multiple times throughout the game, multiple times in a period. You'll see Parayko jump up in the play like he normally does, but it's a lot less than normal. And I think that's part of it too. They were giving up a lot of chances in terms of odd man rushes because their defense were caught out to dry or in the wrong spot. So the defense are stepping up now, but now you're losing possibly an extra stick offensively now moving forward. So I think that's part of it. I think they may have dropped back the defense a little bit more. Maybe the offenses maybe the wingers are dropped maybe a little bit more conservative on that side. But overall, I don't think there's so much change that it's odd. Like there's not enough change to directly say that this is the cause for it. I think that's what it is. I think it's certainly in there, but with hockey and how it is, everyone's just trying to play their own game and play that for as long as possible, keep it up as possible, because that's how you win hockey games.
Let's get this from Matt Z 6470. The Blues outplayed the Devils in the second and third, but they just couldn't finish. And that 4-minute power play, but can't pass or take a pass. your thoughts there on Matt's comments.
I mean, agreed. Simply put, I mean, you got to finish, especially on that 4-minute power play. I mean, this is a Blues power play that moves the pucks well. We've seen them looking really good. The problem is they're inconsistent. And when you give what looks like a good power play, they set up well, had some good chances, but nothing could really go into the net cleanly. And that gives New Jersey all the momentum. I mean, that's just the mental side of the game, is when you give up, when you are unable to put anything past on a 4-minute power play in a clutch spot of the game, that's going to give everything in the hands of the Devils, and that's exactly what happened tonight.
I saw a comment here that I wanted to get to. Where did it go? Matt, same chatter here with another good one. Booch had 17 minutes, nothing. He did pick up a power play assist. So let's lock in on the other stat for me. 12 minutes and 12 and a half minutes of even strength 5-on-5 time. And he generates, by my numbers, I'm seeing 0 shots. He only had 1 shot in the game, and I think that came on the power play. So I have 0 even strength shots for Pavel Buchnevich in the game. That's just, this can't continue.
No, it can't. And the thing is, too, is that I don't know if it's a point where Buchnevich is probably one that has to sit. I believe Slew just tied it up here, by the way, if you want to keep track of that, based off of the exciting – geez, they are just a tidal wave over there. So, 1-1 from Afton, if you want to, if anyone's wondering about an update. But I mean, excuse me. It's just a weird spot for Buchnevich because he looked really good to start off this road trip. I mean, he started coming back. I think he kind of had that kind of talk that he needed. And he's kind of getting back in the swing of things. And right now, it's just another off game. And the problem is, it's normal for a player to not put up points. But the problem is Buchnevich and what has been put on his shoulders, you just expect him to do something. I mean, that's the problem. Like, there's fourth liners out there. You don't expect them to put up, a lot of numbers. And we got fourth liners that are outplaying Buchnevich right now. And it just simply put. And I think if Buchnevich was in a different spot, we wouldn't even be talking about this. Mm-hmm. But because of the extension and everything, you want more from him, and we're just not getting it.
We have a lot of chat. You guys are doing great. Before we do that, though, me and Jacob got to do a little work here. We got to take care of some things. We got to talk about one of our favorite sponsors here. That is our friends over at Home Bank. This Blues Central Postgame is brought to you by our business banking partners at Home Bank. From business lending to everyday banking, Home Bank has been our trusted partner since day one. Check them out at myhomebank.bank. They're member FDIC, myhomebank.bank. Give them a call at 855-577-2001. Banking isn't just about numbers, it's about relationships. When we started everything here at STL Sports Central, Home Bank was our partner right from the get-go, and they've been a huge part of us. Personal banking, business banking. Call our friends at Home Bank right now, myhomebank.bank, 855-577-2001. And what we got to do is give away the Home Bank money moment of the game. The question here is, do we go for a moment that broke do we go with a moment that broke the Blues' backs, or we do go positive here? I'm giving this one to you, Jacob. What is your Home Bank money moment of the game?
I mean, I think at the time of this play and how good it was, as make that 2-1 now, SLU High School. Really missing a great game. Dang it, Blues. Why do you do this to me? But I think I have to give it to Robert Thomas's beautiful snipe. I mean, what a goal
that was impressive.
I just have to give that one out. That was such a beautiful snipe. And at the time, it seemed like, again, that was another game-changing goal, making it, giving the Blues back the lead, and just can't capitalize on it. But at the time, and I think still now, that would have to be my money moment of the game.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you there. Robert Thomas sticks one for the Blues. Obviously, a big moment for them as that goal had given them a 2-1 lead. That was on the power play. Cam Fowler and Pavel Buchnevich, that aforementioned power play point for Pavel Buchnevich, and that Robert Thomas snipe is going to be our Home Bank money moment of the game. Again, check them out at myhomebank.bank or give them a call at 855-577-2001. That is our business banking partners here at STL Sports Central, My Home Bank. Let's get to all these chats because you guys are just doing so darn amazing. Simple one here, Jeremy Hodge. It's an early season, but he asks, do you guys think it's over for the Blues? Too early.
No, simply put. I mean, come on. You guys are a little ridiculous. I mean, it's not over.
All right, well,
As simple as that.
We'll get to something a little bit more positive. Ace Rob, tonight's game's the best they played all year. You've been locked in all season. Is this one of the best games we've seen from the Blues? Obviously, you're staring at a 3-0 win in Buffalo a couple weeks ago. That was a pretty good win. The Dallas win 3-1 at home felt like something was finally maybe getting turned around. Your thoughts on the best game of the year potentially for the Blues tonight in a loss?
I wouldn't say the best game, but it's hard to say this is a good step because you can only say how many times they're good steps when you keep losing. But I mean, it was not a bad game. I mean, this is a really good New Jersey team, but again, you really want to pick up some points here because in reality, in the National Hockey League, anyone can beat anyone. That's just how it is, top to bottom. So, but it was a good game. I don't know if probably in the top 10 of the season. Not the best, but they put in the effort.
Yeah, it's just, for me, Robert Thomas has a big game. Cam Fowler has a 2-point endeavor. Those are big things, but we're still talking about just a non-performance from Pavel Buchnevich. Dylan Holloway, again, only has one shot in the game. That's a little bit disappointing. Just for me, they compete at the compete level was great. I love seeing that, but I have a hard time calling this the best game of the season or the best they've looked this season. Eggplant emoji, welcome, Rock. After doing all those City Central post games, this has to be familiar, right? Had the game just ended after 60 minutes and been a draw, it would have been a lot more familiar. But yeah, this one,
that sounds about right.
Yeah, definitely felt a little familiar. Eric Sontag says it had to do it. I live bet the Devils 120 as soon as regulation ended. I think he was sitting where you were, Jacob. Hard to walk away from that one when you look at that 5-1 Devils record.
That's free money. That's free money.
The Blues were 0-5, 0-6, 2-4, 0-7. Wait, no. Okay, 0-7 tonight.
Now 0-7.
Yeah, so 0-6 in overtimes tonight for the Blues. 5-1 for the Devils coming in, and yeah, good bet there from Eric Sontag. Speaking of some good bets from Eric Sontag, and this leads us into our good friends over at DraftKings, where the crown is yours. Eric wanted me to mention you guys. Domesticated Gamblers coming up right here on STL Sports Central right after Blue Central postgame. They're going to have picks for Blue Senators coming up later on here in the holiday extended break. Mizzou, Arkansas, SLU and Mizzou hoops. We got a huge game for SLU tomorrow night on Thanksgiving. You guys get done with watching football. You want to watch some basketball. SLU takes on Santa Clara. That's going to be a huge game. SLU will also play on Friday. We just don't know who it's going to be because that's how these midseason tournaments work. We'll also have some Mizzou games coming up as well. And they're also going to put together every game in the NFL Week 13 slate, including Monday Night Football. And, of course, everybody, Monday is the big day when everything finally opens up. It is December 1st, which means everything finally opens up and we can start having a little bit of fun here in St. Louis. And that is, of course, with our friends at DraftKings. Promo code STL Sports, where the crown is yours. Everybody, this is the last time I have to kind of couch this and tell you what's coming up finally after a few days. Actually, I got a couple more post games to do, so I'll have to talk about it a couple more times. But on Monday, we will no longer have to couch this as it's coming. We will just be able to tell you on December 1st, it's coming. It's going to be here. It's going to be an absolute blast. Big news. It's almost your turn to get in. DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. That's Monday. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. And that's why it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. The countdown is on. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day. We're also going to be having a little bit of fun here on STL Sports Central. Some of the personalities are all going to throw in $50 into our account on Monday. We're going to see how we do that first week. Who can gain units at the best clip of the STL Sports Central personalities? We can have that kind of fun now because on December 1st, DraftKings is going to be live here in Missouri. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code STL Sports right there on your screen. New Missouri customers sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once DraftKings is live on Monday. That's code STL Sports, where the crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, the business is out of the way, and that means, chat, you now own the show for the rest of the way. Let's jump in here. Ace Rob, Devils 5th place in all hockey and damn near got beat. That's why he's, I think, calling it one of the best games for the Blues. When you talk about the talent differentiation, I mean, you still have a 3-1 win over Dallas. They look pretty good in that game. It just seems like it's kind of hard to lock in on anything from that first 2 weeks of the season, but it's kind of hard for me to not keep looking at the Dallas home win as the best win of the season.
Yeah, the problem is, though, is that you can't have it that early in the year. I mean, you got to have something to back it up. It's getting to a point. So,
Ace Rob.
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead. I mean,
Ace Rob says Matthew Joseph looked great. Jordan Bennington looked great.
Yeah.
Cam Fowler, we're talking about him. He looked probably the best he's had this season. You guys are convincing me this is one of the better played games of the season. I'm starting to roll with you a little bit here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it certainly was a better game. It just, again, you need to find something to finish it off. That's why you can't put it up there as the best, let alone a top 5. So, that was something I was talking about with one of my buddies earlier, too. D Brown's 1480. Problem is when you go from for lack of a better word, when you're starting at ass, you can only go all the way up. So that's what I told my buddy. I said, you go from bad to okay. And I was like, Mayu had, he had a fine game. I had a couple of slip ups, but he's looking better. And I will say, he's got the confidence back a little bit. So I'll take that. Problem is I still need a little bit more of a step up from him because that was really one of the only big moves that we had all off season. So you kind of have a lot of hope on the back of 23. So
Ace Rob says this is the first time they played the second period. And while that may be true, that is also the period where they gave up the lead and were unable to gain it back at any point.
Yeah, but at the same time, they've honestly played some decent seconds. That just, again, after the second period, they might have one goal, and then after that, final 30 minutes of the game, they just no idea how to score a goal. So
you had to know at some point tonight that the chat was going to take this turn, not from Mr. Hitchy. We knew that was going to go, but let's fire up the trade machine, Jacob Stanoch. We're making moves, baby. Everyone is available, but in my terms, only the current team has us in my terms only. The current team has us in top 5 pick range, so I just roll with it unless somebody blows my socks off with an offer. Let's get into it. You see the rumors. Despite the fact that the Oilers have no money, somehow they're going to add a $6 million goalie and a $5 million defenseman. I don't know how the math is going to work out, but apparently people are coming for the Blues goalies and defensemen. What was your reaction to those rumors in the last 48 hours?
I don't know, man. At this point, it's just getting ridiculous. I don't know why we would ever trade our best goaltender. I don't know why anyone would want to trade. I mean, no, we've built a team off of him. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we have inadvertently, whether by design or not, in a way, built a team around Binnington a little bit. So, no, you're not trading Binnington unless you're getting an absolute, unless you're getting Hellebuck or somebody, you're not trading Binnington.
And here's my problem. D Brown's 1480. If Edmonton offered their 27 and 28 first, I telegraphed Binnington there yesterday. Here's the problem. If you give Edmonton Binnington, unless every part of their roster build, outside of their goalie and, having 2 100-point players on the team, unless every other piece of their roster build is objectively shit, those draft picks are going to be in the 27s and is going to be like 27th or 28th in the round each year. It's going to be 30. So
you're not going to get any good draft picks.
You're not drafting anybody. You're not making an impact.
No.
You can't even package those picks to move up into the top 10. Those draft picks don't matter unless we're talking about full on. We suck. We get every draft pick possible. We got to tear this thing down like we're the Buffalo Sabres of 5 years ago. And I just don't think the Blues are there, considering they have 2 incredible, they have 2 really good in their prime contracts in Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou. You have Dylan Holloway and Broberg, which you can kind of control your own situation on what the extensions you give to them. You have a good goalie tandem that's playing down this year, but based on facts that, you have hundreds or in Binnington's case, a record number of Blues games to see what he is actually as a goaltender. Listen, there is a world where that trade would make sense, but we're not living in it.
Yeah, the thing is, too, is that first rounders aren't going to do you anything. I know what people are saying. Tank for McKenna. First of all, I have my own opinions of Gavin McKenna. I don't think he should be a first overall pick. That's just my thing.
He's got a little Shane Wright going on right now. Am I wrong?
It's worse than Shane Wright. All right.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's like
more
overhyped.
He was anointed, and now people are just like saying like, well, this is how it's going to be now. It's like no, he's still playing hockey over the next 2 years. NHL teams are going to be scouting him, and if something pops up that's problematic, they're watching. And you saw what happened to Wright. I mean, he was a consensus first overall draft pick. Like he was running almost like a Bedard hype train, and then he completely falls out of the number one spot to what was it, 4th overall?
Believe so, yeah. And the thing is, too, is that if McKenna's smart, he's not spending 1 year at Penn State and leaving. I mean, simply put. Yeah. Well, it's not even just that. I mean, it's just the sense that if he stays at Penn State for 2 more years, he'd be such a much better player. I mean, I get that it's a weak draft class, but he should not be leaving right now, simply put. And also, I mean, he's just not that fantastic. But going back kind of on the Edmonton thing, I mean, there's no one Edmonton's willing to give up that's worth anything close to what we're willing to give up or what people are saying we're going to give up. I mean, what are you going to get in exchange for Binnington? An awful goaltender?
Yeah, Stuart Skinner.
And there's nothing else good either that they're willing to give up. You're going to get in exchange for your franchise goaltender. This guy is literally leading. This is a record leader for your franchise. I mean, come on. There's nothing good getting back from Edmonton in that case scenario. And I've said it before too, is that you cannot the last thing that Armstrong should do is sell. I mean, we're not going to offload because you're not going to get anything good in return when you're offloading. There's no good case scenario where I think that either first round draft picks, but everyone's going to be mad at that because it's not now. And in return of what people are willing to give up, you're going to have to give up so much of your core right now of who's your best players in order to just get one good player that really probably won't even make that big of an impact on this team. And then you got to shake things up again. I don't see any really good outcomes right now with the Blues trading. In the reality of things, I think, maybe you can offload some guys, get some better prospects. But in terms of anyone above the third line, you should not even be thinking about it because it will screw them over. I really don't see it helping.
And more to that point, like maybe the one trade that I'd be in favor of, because we're talking about how Buch is struggling. If they could move him because the extension looks terrible now, I'd love that. But the fact of the matter is, Pavel Buchnevich is will waive his no trade for one situation, and that is an East Coast team that is in competition. And let me tell you one thing: there's not a single East Coast team in competition that can take on his contract right now. So it's
willing to trade for him too,
or would be willing to trade for him with how he's playing and his contract. So it's a non-starter. I don't see any big Blues trades. Well, let's wrap this up here with our friend Corey Land. Love this, sir. I have nothing left to say. I'm just going to sit back and listen. At this point, I couldn't tell you where to start with this season, but I am an insider now. Love you guys' show.
Heck yeah.
Even when it's bad. Hey, congratulations, Corey Land. Everybody, if you haven't heard, we do now have an STL Sports Insider. It's a lot of fun. Listen, it's not going to affect any of the post games. These are all coming to you. You can still get Bernie's Monday column. You can still get the majority, the first half of the Bernie and Randy episode they do every week. But if you want everything that we're going to be doing, all the special stuff, if you want a chance to be watching a Blues game with Jamal Mayers in the alumni box. I know Blues games aren't very fun to watch right now, but I guarantee you if you're in the alumni box with Jamal Mayers, that's going to be a fun Blues game to watch. And so if you want experiences like that, if you want more from Randy Carricker, Bernie Miklasz, Brendan Schaefer, Kareem Rush, and all here at STL Sports Central, go to the website, join, you can get in right now for our introductory price of $9.95 a month or $99.95 for the entire year, and that's what Corey Land has done. So thank you, everybody, for your support here on STL Sports Central. Like I said, nothing changes here on these post games. You still get us hosting these things, our witty captions and things like that. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat. You guys killed it. Always thankful to our wonderful sponsors at Home Bank. Check them out for your business banking needs. And also, of course, DraftKings Sportsbook, where the crown is yours. Get things ready, everybody. December 1st opens things up. If you have not signed up, sign up now. You can get $300 when things finally open up on Monday, December 1st. For Jacob Stanoch, for Matthew Rocchio, myself, we are signing off here. Before we go, though, do we have what is the score right now in the high school hockey game we're watching?
I believe it's still 2-1 SLU High School. They just started the second period a few minutes ago, so hopefully they don't miss too much more.
It is. It's
SLU
SLU.
No, SLU de Smet.
SLU de Smet. So, okay, so somebody
we actually might have to do a little plug here. Dave might like this. Catch us, our Mid-States Game of the Week next week, December 5th. It will be SLU High School against CBC here at Afton. At 8:10 is when we start broadcasting for the 10th rivalry game. This game is insane. I'm not going to get out of the parking lot until probably an hour after the game. It's going to be even crazier next Friday. So check it out, December 5th. It's going to be incredible. So that'll be on KLIS 590 and live on the Loot Information Station, KLIS YouTube channel. So, and I'll be on the call for that. It'll be a really fun game. So if you want to keep listening to my beautiful, my awesome voice.
I got somebody exposing my past. I am a CBC kid. I don't talk about it a lot, but it is true. So I know where my rooting interest will be in that game. So 2-1 here from
make that 2-2, Rock.
2-2. They just tied it up. And
just tied it up.
Going right now on in some MCC hockey again. You can check out some mid-state games of the week over on our sister station, the Lou Information Station, on 590 AM and LouInfo.com. But this has been Blue Central Postgame for STL Sports Central. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Coming up next is Domesticated Gambler. Coming up this week, we have postgame shows for Mizzou basketball, Mizzou football, SLU basketball. Everything's going on right here on STL Sports Central. Like, share, hit that subscribe button, join the insiders, do everything you can to help us out, support those sponsors. Download DraftKings. December 1st is coming up. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Have a great night, St. Louis. Be better than the St. Louis Blues.